So after a couple of test runs with my trusty tripod here, I now have Panorama. Special requested video of how to do a quick, basic, down and dirty setup of a 7995 card with pncconf wizard, because pncconf wizard does not have a native 7995 configuration available. There is the 7995 configurator tool that you can find on the Linux CNC forum by Big John. But for anybody who does not have that or has not had much luck with it, a quick and easy way to make a 7995 configuration is to just go into your pncconf wizard. And bear with me, I do have the tripod in front of my computer, so this is a little difficult. I'm going to go down to my pncconf wizard. Start the wizard, create a new configuration. Again, use the INI substitution, and I'll create the desktop shortcuts and all that. Here I'll go 7995 Craig. You'll notice that there's a bunch of different interfaces that you can choose with the version 2.9. The QT Dragon and the QT Plasmac Plasma C are two newer interfaces. They don't work on the smaller resolution of this laptop, so I just go with GMochaPi. I'll hit forward, get through all the advanced stuff because I have that checkbox marked off. Here I go into my board name, choose 7976E, internal data, change my card address to the 10.10.10.10 of my current configuration, hit accept component changes. Now here you're not going to be able to set much up as far as the I/O is concerned, but inside of the StepGen boxes you have to create your axes. So we'll go X, Y, and Z for you metric folks. Hit forward. Here's where we have to calculate our stepper scale. Go into stepper scale. Check the boxes of whatever configuration you're working with. If you're working with gear teeth, with timing belts and pulleys and whatnot, you can put your pulley ratios here. If you have lead screw, you can select lead screw, metric pitch, or threads per inch pitch. In this case, I'll just stick with the 200 that comes default, hit apply. And that just lets me go to the next tab. I'll just keep hitting forward through that. Same thing here, calculate, scale, hit apply. Forward. If you want to set up your soft limits, you can do that. Hit apply. Forward a million times. Hit forward enough times, it will create the configuration. It'll load the config onto desktop. Hit yes. And if we look here, 7995 Craig. Okay, so we double click on it. And what happens? Doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because it can't find the card, because the card is set up with a 7976E config. But this is where that INI masking gets helpful. And close that out. Just like I did yesterday with the 7996. Actually, well, I did it yesterday, but the video got uploaded a little while ago. I'll go into the 7995 Craig config. Go into the INI file. Come down to the HMOT section. Change that to HM2_7995.0. Control S to save. Alt F4 to close out. Close. Now we launch our 7995 Craig configuration. And it still doesn't work. So I did find that sometimes you have to try it twice when you make changes to it. It does happen once in a while. Every so often you have to change the network connection, something like that. But in this case, I didn't make any changes, just loaded right back up. So I'll go here, I'll go into service, 1, 2, 3, go to full screen. Now if I go into Health Show, you'll notice that we have pin section HM27995. And then inside of there, we've got all of our inmux, which is the inputs. But under SSR, just to give you an example, if I go to SSR 00, and this is one thing I really like about the new HAL show. There's a search, SSR, enter, boom, it brings it to the SSR section. Click on it. I mean, I was already there, but it now filters out everything that's not SSR. And then from here, I can take this, I can grab this as an example, Control C to copy it, and then under HAL command, I can go net, and we'll say output something, and then Control V to paste. And we're going to tie that into digital output, digital out. So motion digital out 0. So I'm just going to take that, I'll grab that. Control C copy. Down here, Control V paste. Get rid of the white space. Enter. And we have 7995 solid state relay output 0 linked to motion digital out 0, which means that if I go to here, enable my machine, home it out, and go into MDI, I could do an M64 P0 to turn on the digital output. And if we panorama down to here, when I hit enter, you'll see the digital output, or see the relay output light go on. M65 will turn it off, P0. So you can see that you can tie in the I/O portion of it using net commands. And again, I just really like what they've done to HAL show. I can't say enough how much I enjoy that. Especially because if I open up HAL show and I go to watch list, if I close this out, if I add stuff to the watch list, I come back up to filter tree, digital dash out. I can grab that. I can go SSR. And you can see how just being able to search through all that stuff just really helps your workflow. To clear out the filter, just take out the text, hit enter, and then it'll go back to the default. But if I close this out now, and then open it back up, you see it crapped out. Wait a second, try it again. There it goes. You just have to give it a second sometimes. Go back to service, HAL show, and the pins from the previous watch list are still there. The signals are not, but that's only because I created the signals down in the HAL command section. Once you're done with the HAL command stuff, you have to make sure you copy it into your configuration. So just keep that in mind. Execute, and it's back to the way it was. At this point, I would just go highlight, Control C a few times just to make sure I grab it. Minimize. The resolution on this is terrible, so I have to minimize, maximize. Go into my Craig config. And in this case, what I will do is I will add it to the post GUI HAL, custom post GUI HAL, open with Genie here, Control V. If I save that, close. I save it to the custom post GUI HAL only because it will save it when I redo the pncconf wizard, but it'll also load that I/O section after the GUI loads. So if there's anything that I'm using that's GUI related, like the Gmocha Pi stuff, you have to wait for the GUI to load before you can use the Gmocha Pi pins. It will not crap on you. It'll actually load. So if I go health show before my battery dies, and I go into signals, you'll see that output something is now there. So if I added that to the watch list now, it would stay. Love to show you, but battery's about to die and I don't have my charger. So thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. See you soon.